today. From State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, it's Week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The Cardinals now getting set to go offensively, and it'll be the dual-threat quarterback Kyler Murray leading the way.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, accentuate the positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air, receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Murray now on first down. Caught by Wilson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Murray going to throw. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Kenneth Gainwell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Here's Murray. He's across midfield and finally taken down at the 44-yard line. The Cardinal passing game dialed in now. First down. To the right side, and he's got more complete. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up second down. Here's Murray. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Rondale Moore, the intended target, and it's 3rd and 4. You talk about this Seahawk defense. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently second best in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. As it complete to Jackson Smith and Jigba. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. First carry now for Gus Edwards. They find some open field here. Still going. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. 34 yards there and a first down. I thought he had the angle along that sideline. Didn't quite get there, though.
Didn't quite get there, but they did keep him from getting into the end zone. Now when you look down and line up on defense, you see the goal line beneath your feet. If that doesn't motivate you to play harder, I don't know what will.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Well, it was a big run that got him down into position, and then they finish it off one play later with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, and they've got them really thinking to themselves, after that big run, they're probably going to come back and hit us again with the same thing or something similar. Instead, they go to the air, and it's a touchdown that way.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The numbers from McBride a week ago. 8 catches, 83 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
First down, Murray. Got a man, it's Brown. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 37 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunky yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. To throw, it's Murray. And a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here, because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. 2nd and 9. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. He's going to let it go again. He's got a man, complete. Down the right sideline and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chase Claypool, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, their message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football. Let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Meanwhile, Murray's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Murray now to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Moore. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Just for baseball, we call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They're going for it. It's Murray. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing. Well, down 2 touchdowns already. I guess they felt they needed to go for it, but still early, still first half.
I think conventional wisdom says, look, as you point out, you got a whole half to play. Hang in there. Don't give up any more points in this situation. Do a little adjusting at the half and come out ready to go. But sometimes those coaches can just sense their team. Maybe they're a little flat or they need a little extra inspiration. And he decided to go for it there to try and kickstart things.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. Taking it right down Broadway. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down. A give for Edwards running right. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Again, it's Edwards. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's the give to McIntosh. Oh, good move. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 2nd down and 3. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, CD, that's his 2nd touchdown already. And how about this offense? 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
An absolute total team effort right now. And let's face it, I don't think he's done. We're still in the first half. There's a lot of time left to go. I don't know what they're going to do on the other side trying to slow him down. But right now, he's feeling it.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession.
There he goes left side. Still going inside the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Check, 48 to the mic. Watch the slant, watch the slant. Hey, alert 48. Hey,
now Murray. Along the sideline, he has more. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Murray now. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
York able to send this one through, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try and plan a comeback.
Gus Edwards heading back onto the field, and he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that's caught inside the 35. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And he's got Smith and Jigba. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. A leap, and he's got it. Chase Claypool in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks are able to add on to their first half lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with only 9 seconds remaining, and not much time, we'll see how they play this. And he'll just push his way forward for a few. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And it's the Bengals who have the lead in the 2nd quarter. A couple of touchdown passes there for Joe Burrow. From there, we'll head east all the way to the Steel City to check on the Steelers at home in Pittsburgh. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson, terrific in the win, as his guys up their mark to 7-4 with the victory. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. 14-10, the final.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this taken in at the goal line. Sheds off the tackle, and he returns this to the 22. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've got the lead yet again in this ball game with their winning streak right now sitting at 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Oh, a leap it. He will make the catch. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Outright to Smith and Jigba. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know the funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Now a 2nd and 6. This is McIntosh, and he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down. They'll look to throw here. He's got his big tight end, Fant, and he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. They'll run here with Edwards. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Gus Edwards, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Mr. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, leading out this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Phoenix, Arizona's the spot. Glad to have you along for the ride. 3rd quarter action and a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Murray fighting, lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's second down. They're going to look to throw. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 37 yards. His tremendous season passing the football, it continues, Charles. That last throw puts him over 4,000 yards now on the year.
And he's still got the rest of November, and all of December is still to play. So to me, 5.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown. Chris Godwin, 33 yards. And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But Brandon,
and it'll be second down.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our round.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
and with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. 33 yards that time. Up the middle, here's Edwards. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Options galore here, second and a few inches. He's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. Edwards is in. Touchdown, Seattle.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Myers connects on the PAT, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side of this one. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, oh, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in. On 3rd down, here's Edwards. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 107 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They'll run with McIntosh. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show off their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll look to run with Edwards. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, wherever he is on the field, he is certainly slippery with a football in his hands, and he proved it right there.
And normally moves like that aren't supposed to work this deep in the red zone because there's not enough space. Normally way more effective when you're working out in the open field. But here, incredible shiftiness, excellent contact balance, and he works his way into the end zone.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. Facing a big 4th quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll check this one down to Gainwell. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing now is Murray. Quick slant to Brown. And they call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. To throw is Murray. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. He's still on his feet. Inside the 10. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Now Myers for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position and only one play to score it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys already start to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that will bring up second down. Shotgun now for Murray.
He'll drop this underneath for Gainwell.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be second down. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
2nd and 7.
Murray, one final try. And Wilson with it, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line.
Well, this game, it was well in hand early, never really in doubt. Charles, you and I do so many games together. There's so much parity in the NFL, a lot of close battles. This was not one. Tip your cap to them for a really impressive effort.
Yeah, and you know, as the game went on, I think the defense kind of got together and said, you see our guys on offense, they're just putting up point after point. We need to leave our mark somehow, too, and they did it, pitching a second-half shutout.
So for the Seahawks, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, their woes continue as the record falls now to 1-10, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.